You know, I think one of the greatest privileges of being an American is this idea of public lands, this idea that I can go to a place that belongs to me. It belongs to the people of the United States. It actually belongs to anyone. Anyone can come here and experience public land for what it is, whether you want to hunt, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bird watch. That's the essence, the beauty of public land. So I cannot fathom why someone in a position of power wants to remove that public access, that public right to that area for me, for my kids, for my grandkids one day, and for anyone that wants to recreate in that area, specifically from a hunting perspective. So on November the 18th, the Commission for the Mississippi Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks voted 3-2 to institute a 100-yard buffer on a private line in a wildlife management area called Malmaison. Malmaison is 9,500 acres, but it is some incredible duck hunting opportunities, from green tree reservoirs to this place called the Scatters. And the Scatters is this low-lying water area with areas that are open that the public can access. And there's about 148 acres based on normal water level conditions that duck hunters can actually hunt in the Scatters. Well, the Commission voted 3-2 to put a 100-yard buffer from the private line that goes right through Malmaison WMA, in which hunters cannot hunt in that 100-yard buffer. And the reason they gave was because of safety. When you do the math on that 100 yards, it's about 48 acres. Yes, 48 acres. It does not seem like a lot. But 48 acres in 148 acres is about a 32% reduction in public hunting ground for ducks. Let's take this one step further. What if this passes? On December the 16th, the Commission says, yes, we're voting this in, a 100-yard buffer. What's going to stop every single private landowner that has a fence touching a wildlife management area in the state of Mississippi to say, I want the same? This is not good from a precedent-setting perspective. This is not good from an access perspective. And if it's truly a safety issue, let's talk about effective distances of a 12-gauge shotgun being 49 yards using birdshot, not 100 yards. Let's also talk about the idea of, well, couldn't the private landowner decide not to hunt within 100 yards of its boundary? I get private land. I get the benefit of it. And if it was my private land, yes, you would have some conflict on the line that borders a public land hunting opportunity. But MDWFP and their biologists, as well as their executive staff, has said, we're going to increase law enforcement. This is not good for hunting, and it's not good from a precedent-setting perspective. So I get the whole private grounds issue, right? This idea of him imposing a 100-yard buffer on himself. Why should he do it? It's his ground. I absolutely get it. But let's flip the coin. The public land, the public ground, is my ground. It's your ground. It's our ground. So why should we put a 100-yard buffer on ourselves from a hunting perspective? I don't get it. And I don't get it especially in a time where hunter numbers are going down and the barrier of entry into hunting is so high, specifically with the foundational core piece of that barrier to entry being public ground. Chairman Munger, Commissioner Bentz, thank you for voting right. You guys sit on that commission because you are protectors of our resources and you're protectors of the opportunity for us to hunt. The opportunity for us to hunt. And you both said no to this, and we applaud you. One of the commissioners who voted for the 100-yard buffer said that on December the 16th, if we have 18,000 people come up against this, we may have to reconsider it. Well, challenge accepted. If you are a Mississippian, you need to say something. If you are a non-resident that plans to hunt ducks in Mississippi sometime in your lifetime, you should say something. If you are a hunter from anywhere in the world, you should say something. It's 48 acres, I get it. But it's 48 acres that are important to my kids and my grandkids' opportunity to hunt ducks on public ground in the Mississippi Delta one day. How can you make your voice heard? Go to mdwfp.com, go to the rules and regulations. There's only one rule and regulation that's up for grabs, and that's the Malmaison WMA 100-yard buffer. And make your voice heard. Leave a comment. That's what you have to do. I'm constantly humbled and grateful. We're humbled and grateful for your support. This issue sort of drives home for me a little bit more than usual, because this is what's great about being an American citizen. It's what's great about this beautiful country, the access to land that my kids and my grandkids can participate in the future. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. To me, that part of being an American is something I'm not willing to lose.